Hi, and welcome to another episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at one of my recent rescues. This is a 1980 Honda CB900 Custom. In 1980, Honda decided that they were going to compete with the big boys and release a 1000cc contender custom bike, and so they did some things a little bit differently than either Suzuki or Kawasaki or Yamaha had done. What they did was they took their 900 Super Sport motor and put it in a cruiser chassis. They did the cruiser styling. Honestly, I think they did a very nice job, and they gave the bike really nice lines. They used a little bit smaller motor than the other guys, but they did make it a 16 valve motor versus the 8 valve units that you find in both Suzuki and Kawasaki. Yamaha, I think in '79 had the XS 1100, which is also a competitor, which is a 16 valve motor as well, similar to the Honda. One of the things that sets the Honda apart is its dual range transmission, and I've seen a lot of comments and a lot of reviews of this transmission where people give Honda a hard time. It is complex, it is weighty, but when you're actually driving the bike, it's pretty transparent. It is nice to have that extra gear. Basically, when I drive it, I use it as a 6th gear, and it makes the bike a little bit more relaxed on the highway. This bike it's pretty close to original. When I bought it earlier this year, it ran marginally. It ran on choke, so I knew it needed the carburetors cleaned. And I've gone through the bike, and really it runs nice right now. I've got everything dialed in. The carburation from stock on these bikes, even if you read reviews from the time period, the carburation was lean, and it took a little bit of adjustment in the carburetors even after they were clean to get them dialed in. I'm in Pennsylvania, and so I typically have to run my bikes a little bit richer just due to the elevation and temperature. So this bike is, we put new tires on it, all new fluids. This is the transfer case for the 10-speed transmission, and it sounds fancy and it sounds complicated, but in reality, you use the shift lever just like you do on a normal bike, and then you have a high and low range. That is, you can put it down into low here with the toe shifter, and then when you're driving and once you're in 5th gear, you can switch it into high range, and essentially it acts like a 6th gear. And then when you come to a stop, you can actually continue to use the 5-speed transmission in high range. So you can shift down, shift up, and it's just the gearing then is just a little bit higher for each gear. On the 1980, the high range gearing was not much different than the low range gearing, so it's really not a problem to start off in high range in 1st gear. I've got an 82 CB900 Custom, and the gearing is significantly different, and so it's really a little bit more difficult to start off in high range. One of the things that I did recently is I have completely upgraded the brake system. The original rotors on these bikes were 1-piece units, and so I have just installed the EBC brake rotors and Spiegler brake lines, and what that does is it made a world of difference as far as when the bike would come to a stop. Before, around 15 miles an hour, I never knew what my front end was doing. It shimmied all over the place. The stock brake rotors, what had happened was a caliper had gotten old and had semi-seized, and so when it was ridden, it overheated the brake rotor and warped it. And so now, just as I say, one of the things that I do on all of the vintage bikes is upgrade the brakes so that the brakes are up to modern standards and just a lot safer if you have somebody pull out in front of you or a situation you need to avoid. But we will be doing a ride video here shortly. This bike has only 6,000 miles. I picked it up from the second owner, and just have it, at this point, have it dialed in very nicely. I will do another review here, another video where I go over some of the way the jets are set up in the carburetors and what I did to smooth out the leanness. Again, if you even if you read some of the reviews from the time period, it had some surging issues due to the lean carburation. So we have taken care of that. It really runs smoothly. One of the things that every review says and really holds true for the Honda CB900 Customs is how smooth they are. They're just a wonderfully smooth bike. They soak up the bumps really, really well. And for a vintage machine, the handling and ground clearance is very nice, especially compared to some of today's cruisers. Yeah, just a neat machine. So stay tuned. We'll go for a ride here shortly.